Whitley Rose Queen Day, Saturday the 20th of June 1992. Whitley welcomes you to their annual Rose Queen fete. The weather this year was the complete opposite to last, so get out the suntan lotion and the sombreros, 'cause we're in for a scorcher. The procession leaves the schoolyard in an orderly manner, led by Mr. Len Andrews and the Warrington Youth Band, followed by the retiring Queen Lorraine Eaton, Whitley Primary School in their impressive all-white PE kit. Next comes the first Whitley Guides. The Queen-elect Jill Bettles, first Whitley Brownie Pack, the Whitley Under Fives and the Children's Fancy Dress Competitors. The Women's Institute Clothes Show, the first Whitley Cub Scout Pack and the first Whitley Scout Troop. Family groups line the route to savour the atmosphere of the day. Round the corner comes Katie Ince on beauty. And what a beauty! She takes it all in her stride. Crown bearer William Burgess leads Queen-elect Jill Bettles, train bearers William Taylor and Christopher Aspinall, chief attendant Michelle Donnellan, and attendants Lucy Tappin and Lindsay Evans. Because of the problem of high-heel shoes and evening wear, the ladies of the WI decided it would be more sensible to hitch a ride on a vacant tractor and trailer. Crowds of people follow the procession onto the village hall field in great numbers, only to find that the early arrivals have taken the best viewing positions. I don't think the viewing positions will worry these two babies. The retiring Queen, Lorraine Eaton, walks for the last time as Queen through the entrance onto the village field, closely followed by the rest of the procession and hordes of spectators. The ladies of the WI have certainly enjoyed their ride. You can see from their smiling faces that they are totally relaxed and ready to perform their display of fashion clothes in the clothes show. Our cameraman this year is Rob Evans from the Warrington Cine and Video Society. Retiring Queen Lorraine Eaton leads the procession round the arena for all to see before taking their places for the crowning ceremony. Jill Bettles is just bursting with happiness on this her special day. No time for last-minute nerves as Rose Queen Lorraine Eaton prepares herself to escort Queen-elect Jill Bettles onto the stage. The welcoming speeches were said by Chairman Mr. Cyril Littler and President Mr. Nick Carey, with the crowning by Mrs. Maureen Laithwaite.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the 1992 Rose Queen Fete. This afternoon we've been blessed again with good weather, quite a change from what we had last year when we were jacking about trying to miss the rain. I'm not going to make a long speech, just a brief one. Last time it was a brief one so that we could dodge the showers. Today I think it's rather too hot to hang about, but I would like to thank the people who have helped us, who are going to help to make this Rose Queen Fete a great success this year. And a special thanks to Mrs. Whittaker and her staff, and also the children from Whitley School.
And that brings me to Mrs. Laithwaite. I'm really delighted to be here on the stage with Mrs. Laithwaite. She is a tower of strength in this village. She symbolises a lot of what village life is all about. I know, for instance, and I don't know very much about this village because I'm never here half the time, but Mrs. Laithwaite is involved in the chapel, in the WI, and in the Cubs.
Mr. Chairman, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's given me great pleasure to be here this afternoon to fulfil this duty. As most of you know, I'm normally in uniform marching with the rank and file round the field, but I'm in an elevated position today. I've also been asked on behalf of the WI if I could dress up in something a little bit more than I would normally wear on this occasion. As you can see, the WI ladies have made a special effort and looked in their wardrobe to find something appropriate for the day.
Yes. Mrs. Laithwaite then had great pleasure in crowning Jill Bettles as Whitley Rose Queen of 1992. Mrs. Laithwaite moved into the village 25 years ago in 1967. This crowning ceremony has taken place since 1947. The presentation of sprays were by James Mountford to Mrs. Laithwaite, or rather Mrs. Mountford to Mrs. Laithwaite. Katrina Donnellan to Mrs. Carey. James Taylor to Mr. Carey. Michael Begbie to Mrs. Littler. And Edward Heavey to Mr. Littler. Watch out for his sword, Cyril. The presentation of the Rose Queen Committee gift was by Mrs. Margaret Ratcliffe. And now is the time for friends and relations to present their gifts to the queens and their retinues. Well, the sun has certainly brought out the summer fashions. I think what these two are saying is, it's much more interesting down here. The public address man had a good view of the proceedings, starting with the children's fancy dress. Amongst the characters spotted were Wee Willie Winkie, a clown, policeman, pirate, red devil, little Bo Peep, a fairy and a ballerina. Following on behind is Mary Mary, quite contrary. A green dragon, a red scarecrow and an aluminium recycling machine who has got its own problems. The judges were Mr. and Mrs. Astor, who had to choose from an exceptionally high standard of entries. The aluminium recycling machine has unfortunately ground to a halt due to mechanical failure. It's just amazing what children will put up with. This mischievous little boy certainly leads his mother a dance in more ways than one, and he enjoys it. The spectators look on as the awards are presented to the winners of the children's fancy dress competition. In third place was the Hawaiian girl, Katrina Donnellan. Second place, the clown, Thomas Mountford. And first place was James Taylor as Thunderbirds.
Let me just tell you, ladies and gentlemen, while they're waiting for the music, that they are performing in a gymnastic display this time, and they tell me that their work this term has been about structures, and this is how they're going to demonstrate how the structures can be used in gymnastics.
Structures was the subject that Whitley primary school children use to demonstrate their superb gymnastic skills. As the commentator announces the start of their performance, they enthusiastically enter into a most spectacular display.
and do their job, and I'm just going to wait for the nod now, and then hopefully we'll have some more music and they'll be away. I'll have another break after the end of this, and then they'll dance off out to the music as it comes. Right, here we go.
The Warrington Youth Band performed 15 movements and 5 different pieces of music without a break under the supervision of Mr. Len Andrews, the band's musical director, to an appreciative audience. The ladies of the WI once more entertained everyone with their own version of the clothes show. The members were given the choice of choosing their own clothes this year, and by doing this a good cross-section of fashions were modelled, from sportswear, casual, leisure and evening wear. I think the ladies have found that being a fashion model is harder than it looks. Not only do you have to keep in time to the music, remember your steps and smile to the crowd, but trying to hold on to your hat when the wind blows is another matter. Now these three are certainly in the mood.
Well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen, your local WR and the clothes show. Big hand for them. They would do it again. Always do something, don't they?
The queens and their retinues retire for tea after being entertained in the heat of the afternoon. Amongst the usual sideshows was this very popular assault course. It was the first time it had been used here at Whitley, and it proved to be very successful for all age groups. For some it was entertainment, for others it was a chance to show off their skills, or to be competitive. It certainly gave the enthusiastic ones an opportunity to burn off their energy, and this is what you call energetic. Now this is my sort of energy, nice and slow. Another successful time on the goldfish game. Not one fish was left at the end of the day. Phew! These youngsters are really going flat out. You can't say that they need any more speeding up. They're already on fast forward. We would like to thank Rob and Sheila Evans of the Warrington Cine and Video Society for their invaluable help in filming this year's Rose Queen Fete. Without their help, this film would not have been possible. The children found the greasy pole a real knockout, and I'm sure all who attended found this year's Rose Queen a knockout too. Let's hope for the same again next time.